Hey, what's up, y'all? Hold on, let me take the sunnies off. I want to thank you, Eye to Eye, for checking out Sway's Universe. And I appreciate it. We got so many videos we want you to see, so push that notification button for me. Do it now and enjoy the video. Peace.
This is Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it, bye.
Wake your fuck ass up.
Crust out, y'all.
Axel Leon, I said go check out Axel if you missed him. You're not familiar on the 2016 Doomsday Cypher, Sway in the Morning at swaysuniverse.com. DB, you had a question?
Yeah, we were talking earlier this morning, just bringing up different songs that you've been on and featured on and some of the stuff that we love. And one of the lines was that Big Pun line where he says, Tony Sunshine, cante la coro. And we couldn't figure out,
that means Tony Sunshine sing the chorus.
I told you I was right.
Wow.
Sing the
How do
chorus.
you say it again?
Canta el coro.
So coro is chorus.
He said, recognize me. I'm the one cocking the auto. Tony Sunshine, please canta el coro.
We
butchered that then. It was like canta coro.
That means sing the chorus, yeah.
No, that's so funny. 888-742, you got phone calls, 3345. Yeah. Hey, Nick, what up? Say what you calling from the D. What it do? Say what up to Tony Sunshine.
What's good, Tony? What's good? Heather, what's good?
Hey.
What's going on with you, babe boy?
Everybody.
We love you, too. Thank you.
I've always felt like a connection with Big Pun because
right.
He and I share a birthday. We November 10th.
Yes.
So every time I hear Pun music and every time I hear Pun stories, I always just get excited. But my question is for you. I've always wondered, how did you get the name Tony Sunshine?
Pun gave me that name one day. Source Magazine was interviewing him in his house. And my original name was R&B, which standed for Rough Brother. But I thought that, we thought that the name R&B was just like, it wouldn't be fair. There's just a million R&B singers. So he felt that he had to change that. And he came up with the name Tony Sunshine. I wasn't too fond of it at the moment. But about 15 minutes later, in the middle of his interview, they asked him what Terror Squad had coming next and what he had coming next. And he hit him with you probably heard of him, Tony Sunshine, my little brother. And of course, they've never heard of Tony Sunshine.
Right.
But I stood branded Tony Sunshine, and this is just what it is, Tony Sunshine.
That's a great question, Nick, man, because that's a good story. Sometimes you don't never know how people get their names, and I'm glad you asked that, Nick. And support him. Go to single, Ball Again featuring Axel Leon. Make sure you get that single, okay?
Nick, positive vibes.
Thank you. Much love, everybody.
Much love, brother.
Go ahead, Mike.
Wait, when you were walking... when you were hanging out with Big Pun and you're going around the country and around the world and you're touring with him and you're hanging around him, did you really recognize the legacy that was being created? And did you recognize it for what it was in that moment, or was he just your big brother doing just really cool things?
With Pun, it was kind of different because we always knew that Pun had something great with him, whether he was going to be a comedian or a movie star or a rapper. He just had so much charisma. He was just so witty with the things that he did and the things that came out of his mouth. He was so smart with his vocabulary, and his people skills were just so crazy that we just knew something was going to come about with him.
I want to ask, too, and not to focus... Obviously, we've all heard different stories, especially, being in the industry as to why Terror Squad broke up. This one is not speaking. This one, whatever the case may be, whatever the stories are. I want to know, though, Tony, how were you guys able, because we never hear about resolutions. We never hear what was that defining moment that brought people back together. I just feel like in a time now where everything is just so crazy, I want to hear about healing and people getting back together. What was it like, y'all all coming back together and talking? And what was that moment when you guys decided, you know what?
I mean, I think it kind of just happened. I have an unconditional love for Joe. I believe he has an unconditional love for me. I seen Remy grow up. It's unfortunate what she had to go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe she came out a stronger and smarter woman. I love the way she carries herself today.
Shout out to Remy and Pap. Yeah.
But with me and Joe, it was kind of like it just happened. We seen each other quite a few times, and we just started conversating, and here we are at this place because when you love somebody, you know what I mean, and you got unconditional love for someone and you respect someone in that way, what is it they say? It doesn't need to be explained. How you say that?
You saying that
what's understood don't need to be explained.
That's it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So with me and Joe, it kind of just happened. You know what I mean? And I'm happy. I'm happy in the place we're in.
I'm glad too, and I think Gladys Knight was here one time, and she was saying there was some issues with her and like Diana Ross. You imagine us sitting in a room.
Imagine Diana Ross and
Gladys Knight. Like we're sitting here, and she's just casually telling this story like they had issues back in the day, and we were like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's like one icon and another icon, and she said at some point you grow up, and then people just realize we're grown now.
Grow. But at the same time, Joe and I never really had a beef. Joe and I never really had an outstanding problem. You know, it was more so he was going through his things I didn't know he was going through.
Right.
And I was going through my things, obviously, he didn't know I was going through. And, you know, I was young. I didn't understand what was going on. I felt like I needed more attention, and I was being a spoiled brat. And, you know, I felt like I had to make moves and do things on my own, and that's how that happened. But we went our separate ways, you know, in a good way, cordial. We didn't talk crazy about each other on the airwaves. Till this day, I've never said anything crazy about Joe on the airwaves. He's never said anything about me, and I believe that's because we really don't have any negative things to say about each other.
It's something like
I don't know about everybody else's truth.
Right.
I don't know how everybody else feels in the team or what they went through with Joe, but I have my truth, and I can only tell you my experience with Joe, and that's my big brother. I respect him. I love him. I salute him for what he does, what he's brought to the game. If it wasn't for Joe, there would be no Terror Squad.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Joe, regardless of what anybody says, there would be no Big Pun. There would be no Remy Martin. There would be no Tony Sunshine. There wouldn't have been none of the other guys that came. You know, so we have to salute him, and we have to respect him for the longevity and the way he's able to continue on in the game and be relevant.
And bring people forward too.
Definitely.
Up in it. That's what I like too. I think you said something in there that's important. With people beefing, sometimes I think things escalate when people take it to the media. That's why I asked you about healing rather than the hurt. You know, and you brought it up.
Well, that comes also with letting go of bitterness, you know, because I can't sit here and lie to you and tell you that there wasn't a time that I fed into the nonsense. I can't tell you there wasn't a time where I felt victim to listening to the nonsense and I didn't feel bitter and I didn't have my things that to say, and I didn't, you know, subliminally say something that mightn't have been too kosher at the time. But with letting go of bitterness comes growth. When you grow and you give yourself the opportunity to sit and think and say, you know, well, what did I do? What did I do, you know, to make these things occur? And you start letting go of the bitterness, things become a little easier for you. At the same time, I say that to say that there's so much hate going on that when you allow people to come in your circle and feed you that hate, because nobody is born a hater.
Right.
You have to be taught to hate. You have to allow people to feed you bitterness, and you got to become bitter to feel a certain kind of way. So with me, you know, like I said, I had to sit back and figure out what did I do, because I was a knucklehead.
And you were young. And
right, I was young.
Too.
I was running around. I was being a knucklehead. I wasn't listening. You know, I was allowing people to allow me to make mistakes. You know, I wasn't being observant. I wasn't taking the initiative to learn the game properly. So when you grow and you start becoming a man, part of becoming a man is admitting to your faults. And I wasn't growing as an artist. I was just running around acting crazy.
Nah,
you know?
Thanks for sharing that, because
So-
that's part of it. A lot of people need to hear that. 888-742-3345. Tony Sunshine is here. Caprice, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Hey, first of all, I want to say thank you, because being from Gary, Indiana, we, you know, I'm brought up right here in the middle of the map.
Bless,
and
man.
so,
Bless.
You know what I'm saying? Me and my peoples, we had to, basically what we did was we took, you know, sounds from the East Coast and the West Coast and down South, and we kind of had to, reach out. Like, I didn't listen to my first Jay-Z album until I was a sophomore in high school when that Volume 3 came out. And I was like, man, how come I ain't never heard this? And then I had to backtrack, you know, so I didn't hear about a lot of East Coast until I was in high school. Like, I just got fond memories of of y'all on TV. You know, me rushing home to watch Rap City and watching Heather B on the train with MOP with my
Talk about it, Caprice. Tell him.
So,
I'm just joking.
but and you know what? And being, you know, from here, like the radio stations, like we don't get a lot of that underground hip hop that's from the East Coast. We just get, you know, what's played for the radio. So we kind of got to search and things. And so I just want to let y'all know that y'all got some fans that's right here in the middle of the map that love these. I remember people, you know, coming to school with army fatigues on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, where do y'all get that from? You know, then when I watch Rap City, I said, oh, that's where they get it from.
Yeah.
And so, like, man, it's people up here that copy the slang, copy the slap style of East Coast and everything like that.
Yeah, army suits,
You
crazy.
know, you know, so I just wanted to let y'all know that
I got a funny story.
I'm glad I'm tuned in. And Tony Sunshine,
bless.
Hey, love what you've been doing for years, man.
Thank
and
you,
y'all
my brother.
To know, hey, it's people in the middle of the map that love y'all.
Yo, Caprice, that's so nice for you to say that. Make sure you support his single. It's called Ball Again, featuring a Sway in the Morning citizen, Axel Leon. And you can hit up Tony, too, at Tony Sunshine BX. You can hit him up on social media. Follow him. That's dope. Yeah. And it's good to hear people from, like he said, he's calling from Indiana.
That's what's up.
Just letting you know and recognizing you and saying, yo, we heard you. You know, we heard you. I want you to know we here, and we got fans. You got fans out there that just want to just show you that love. That's
blessed.
So dope.
That's blessed. I wanted to share a story with you. Now that we're talking about the army suit era, Joe's gonna kill me for this story, but it's just so funny. The army suit era. The first show I went with Joe to the Fever, he had a line where he said, "I know your style. I seen it before. You're wearing an army suit. Now you think you're hardcore, right?"
Right.
So, smoking all your blunts. Can't afford a chain, so you wear gold fronts. And when you look in the crowd, everybody had on army suits and gold fronts. And what turned around? Excuse me. And I turned around and was like, you know, I'm a little boy. I'm like, oh, it's going to be on in a minute. Nah, but they ate it up and they loved it. But it was crazy that I remember that. You know, looking in the crowd and he says that line, and everybody in the crowd actually had on army suits and gold fronts with no chains.
Every single era had their thing. So when we look at, I'm sure we looked crazy to certain people at that time. In the same way, I'm saying that people get on the skinny jeans, so to speak, and all this different stuff. I seen the baggy jean era. I seen the long T-shirt era where dudes look like they was wearing dresses. Yeah. I seen
I'm guilty.
The shorts with the Timberland boots in 90-degree weather, and my cousins coming up from down south like, yo, why y'all niggas got on boots? Like, y'all wearing boots.
We call that shit with no disrespect because it just is what it is. We didn't start doing it till we saw Wu-Tang doing it.
True.
So I call it the Wu-Tang era.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the baggy jeans with the Scullies and the big North Faces with the Timbs, you know. So I call that the Wu-Tang
People
era.
didn't understand. So every generation and every era had its look. You know, if you go way, way back, you'll see Africa Bambaataa and all them dudes wearing feathers and capes and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, that's their argument today. When you talk to some of these young boys that are wearing the fine spandex denim jeans with the cowboy boots, and you know they're doing, and I respect their style because I'm a fashion misfit myself. You might see me today in this, and tomorrow you might see me in a suit, and the next day you might see me in a. So I respect it, but I have to question them, and they be like, "But what you mean, dogs? The original rappers were wearing leather tight suits and
vests,
you know, and
with no shirt on underneath." There's a lot of questionable fashion choices from back then, so it's moved that way. Hip hop has progressed to say to say. All right, Tony Sunshine, thank you so much.
Pleasure's mine, man.
Y'all
Bless.
make sure y'all hit him up at Tony Sunshine BX. Show him some love. And
I am
reach out
Tony
to him.
Sunshine on IG.
Tony, you got an album coming out?
No, we working on something right now.
Okay.
You know, I'm just putting out records just to build the platform and, you know, just finding my lane all over again after being gone for so long from the game and you know, I dropped quite a few records before this one, just trying to fill out the game all over again and just thinking to myself, I'm gonna do the Tony thing. But, you know, you got to give the fans and you got to give the people exactly what they want. And what they want is the original Tony Sunshine.
Well, whenever that is, we here to support you at Sway in the Morning. So just know that. All right, citizens, Sway in the Morning continues up next. Shade 45.
It's Sway in the Morning, only on Shade 45.